Hello, engineers, and welcome back to the DevSecOps series. Today, we are going to learn about the 7 most important tools that you need to learn in the DevSecOps practices in 2026. You might have wondered that why all of your leadership these days are talking majorly about security operations. It's because that all of the products that we see in the current market are mostly digital products. So, everything is going online. All of things you used to do early in paperwork is now moving to digital format. So data is the most crucial thing that we have today. Either it may be a video, maybe image, the photocopy of your pdfs and all these things. So in order to keep all of these things secure, you need to understand the practices that we follow as developers or cloud engineers or DevOps engineer or any kind of compliance related stuff. You need to be aware of all of these things. So that's why we are today here discussing this particular thing so that you should get your head start in 2026. So let's begin with the very first important difference between what we need to know is when we talk about dev, sec, and ops, development, operations, and security. There are two things you need to first know about it. One is the different methodologies. Okay. There are different methods and different things that you need to secure. And then there are the different tools. So for the methodology, you can watch our series. I will link it to this particular place over here, and you can go through and check what are the different you know assets that we have, what are these assets and how we need to secure them, right? So in that you will learn that we have code, we have third party libraries, or dependencies that you use, and then there are containers or images that we have IaC scripts, right? We have configuration management scripts, we have our cloud resources, right? So once you have all of these things for your product or application, you need to know what methods do we apply for these particular uh, things. So for code, we go usually with the static application security testing. For third party libraries, we go with SCA, software composition analysis. For images, we go for image scans, you know, for Docker images or any of the other kind of images you might be using. Then for IaC scripts, we used to go for IaC security and misconfiguration checkers. Okay, misconfigurations are to be found out from the infrastructure as code scripts that you write. And then for cloud resources, you might be using networks. So for that, we have firewalls. We have to do the hardening of your AMIs, maybe whatever you are using, and bunch of different things go around for cloud security. Whether it be IAM or data encryption. Cloud, we used to store our data in S3 buckets or maybe RDS and all of these other places. But is it encrypted or not? If someone got the access of this data, would they be able to use it or read that particular data that is in your hands? So this is about the methodology. But what about the tools? Okay. Do anyone know what tools are used in the market currently? If you know, please write down in the comment and let me know if from all of these 7 different tools that we are going to discuss, how many of you already know. And if you know, have you implemented them in a project? I would like to know that. So please let me know that thing. So let's talk about the very first tool that you need to be aware about. You might have heard that most of people host their repositories on GitHub, right? So it is a major platform. You might be using GitLab or any other thing, but most organizations go with GitHub. So there is something that they developed for keeping everything that is there a bit secure. So what is that? It is GitHub advanced security features. Okay, GitHub advanced security. You might have heard about the word GHAS, GitHub advanced security. So what do we get to see in this GitHub advanced security? There are three major things you might be learn in this particular thing is code QL, okay, which is for SAST, static application security testing. Other one is dependabot, okay. Dependabot is going to be used for SCA. And third one is the secret detection, okay. Secret detection functionality, which would catch if you are putting any tokens, okay, tokens or API or keys or any passwords in your code base, so that if someone steals it, you know, god forbid, you don't know what would happen. Your AWS or the cloud bills would expand with a huge number, or some of your data might get compromised if you lose this particular passwords. Imagine if you lose the keys to your home and then someone else found it with the and the address. If he knows the address of your home, then you know what things might get stolen from your house. So that's the first thing that we will learn. I mean, you will learn, or you have to learn in this particular uh, year, so that you would get to know. It is very friendly. You can just enable it by toggling few buttons. Okay, you can enable it that way. So in order to learn this particular thing, I have already created one particular video. If you go, I'll show you. If you want to learn this particular thing, uh, I'll just show where you can find it. You can navigate to youtube.com, and then once you once you are over here, go for my name. Sorry for my typing. And you can navigate to the playlist section and find the DevSecOps series over here. You might see we have learned or discussed about a lot of different topics that are really important. So right from threat modeling, SAST, SCA, if you don't know what are these things, you can always go to this particular video series and then look for it. And here you have this particular GitHub advanced security video. So it's just 18 minutes of things, and you can just watch it, binge watch it maybe, and get to know this particular stuff. So that's the very first thing that you need to learn about. Then, what's the second stuff you might be learning is AquaSec Trivy. Trivy or Trivy, whatever you want to say. But remember this particular word. Now comes the question, why this thing? Okay. So Trivy is open source tool. Okay, it is open source and a fast tool which would enable you to scan your images. Okay, Docker images, container images, whatever you want to say. It gives you that capability to scan them and find vulnerabilities in those particular things. Okay, so that's why you need to learn AquaSec Trivy, so that you can do this thing, because most of things are deployed on K8s or ECS, ECS, sorry, not EC2. So a lot of things matter over here. If you do not secure your Docker files, your images, it would get breached, and you can have multiple instances of your images getting compromised somehow. And if your images are getting compromised, the host machine might be vulnerable to those particular escape attacks that we see these days for Docker images. So one is images, another one is file systems. You can scan using it as well. Okay, file systems. So that would also give you enough of bandwidth to cover all of these things. Okay, file systems. And there are K8s workloads. that you can do. So it would go for K8 security checks. Okay, so that you can also check if your master nodes or whatever the clusters you are creating are vulnerable or not. So this is the second tool. Next, we would go to the third tool that we have for Snyk. Okay, I have also created the video for Snyk. If you go over here, you will get to see the very recent video is how to use Snyk for your particular development purpose. That is what we have seen. So you can go over here and try out few different things for Snyk. So what does Snyk give you? Okay, it would give you fast for code plus SCA, and it will also give you some IDE integration methods. Okay, it would integrate with your VS Code or Visual Studio Code or whatever plugins, whatever IDEs you use. And then once you connect with your IDE, I mean, you connect this particular Snyk with your IDE, you will get to see vulnerabilities as you write or you develop your code base. So that's why it is really important. IDE integration, which comes majorly into developers security. Okay, so that is one. Like you wrote your code, okay, whatever the code you are writing, and immediately the Snyk tool will scan your code is vulnerable or not, and it will flag it as a warning and show you why it is vulnerable, how you can face that particular thing. So that's why Snyk is really important, and it has very cool features, which is a cloud native app. You can see uh, your projects over there and the vulnerabilities that it found out. So you can catch your vulnerabilities in very early phase of development. Then comes what we call as DAST. Okay, dynamic application security. Till now, we have only learned about security when the product is or when the software is not running. But what if we want to test our application if when it is running? So that time we have to use dynamic application security testing methodologies or the tools that are associated for it. So one of the very uh, known tool is OWASP Zap, Z attack proxy, which is a free tool that you can use, an open source tool developed by OWASP campaign, so that you can test your application when it is running on a server. Okay, so it would find out if there are any vulnerabilities in the server as well as the application. So if you want to do that, you should go with it. Then it also enables us with the API security stuff. Okay, API security, so that you could test your application as well as the APIs that you are developing. Okay, so that's the fourth one. Then we go to the fifth one, which we want to learn is for Terraform or whatever IaC scripts that you write, IaC or configuration management scripts you are writing. So if we talk about Terraform specific, you will go with you will go with tfsec. Okay, TF security, or there is one KICS framework. Okay, keep your infrastructure as code secure. Keep KICS. So once you learn this particular thing, you will be sure that your infra automation, whatever you are creating, using this script is properly configured. If you keep something publicly disclosed or available, it would be vulnerable. Okay, your data might get lost. If you forgot to encrypt your database, okay, encrypt your database, then what you will see that your data is being leaked outside. So that's why you need to know if there are any insecure configurations for your workloads. So it whether it would be for AWS, Azure, or GCP, or other cloud vendors that you work with. So this particular tool will help you before you deploy your application or deploy your entire environment or create it. Okay, infrastructure provisioning stuff is what we want to secure using tfsec or KICS framework. Then comes the next stuff where we would talk about Kubernetes security. Okay, so nowadays a lot of workloads are being deployed to Kubernetes, so that's why you need to know something which is called as Kube-bench and Kube-hunter. These things will manage your clusters vulnerabilities, so that you adhere by either NIST framework, okay, or CI's benchmarks is what it would check for and let you know that some things are weak, how you need to harden your clusters. Okay, harden your clusters, RBAC policies, and a bunch of different things. Okay, how you secure your network communication between the pods and all this auto scaling stuff. Okay, or rate limiting. This is what you will get to learn in Kubernetes security stuff. Then lastly, you have discussed, I mean, we have discussed about all of this cloud product security and the code security, but we left something which is really most important, is the pipeline security. Okay, pipeline security. So a lot of you are using the CI/CD flow workflows for these development activities. How are you supposed to manage it? So there comes some security plugin which you can attach to your pipelines, whether it be GitLab pipeline, okay, GitHub Actions, okay, GitHub Actions, or Jenkins, or Drone CI, or Tecton pipelines. There are different tools that you might be using in your organization for pipeline related stuff. So you can first do is what, check the runners wherever the scripts that you are writing, the automation you are writing, the pipeline you are writing, wherever they are running, you need to first secure that particular runner. Otherwise it is susceptible to what we call as supply chain attack. Okay, so don't worry about this SCA. Something is common, it is software composition analysis as we see, but you need to see for supply chain security. Okay, for this supply chain attacks. So you need to configure your runners such that they are not prone to this particular attacks. Second thing, you might be using some secret, so that you can access your cloud environments or API token, right? API tokens, you need to secure these things. So you might use TruffleHog to detect those particular things, and you need to always remember to mask these particular secrets, so that whenever your pipelines are consuming it, okay, whenever your pipelines are consuming it, they would be not exposed to the external world. And third thing is what, you can use vaults to securely transmit your API tokens or whatever you want safely from one place to another place. So that's all, I guess, the seventh most important thing that you need to learn in 2026 for the DevSecOps related methodologies and your knowledge, basically. So I will just quickly recap all of these things. Uh, First is what we learned about GitHub advanced security. Second is we saw for image scanning and file system scanning is Trivy. Third is what we saw, Snyk CLI. Fourth is what we saw as IaC scanning. Okay. Then fifth is what we saw as Kubernetes related stuff. Sixth is pipeline service. Okay. I think we missed one more. Six was Kubernetes, and what was the one? DAST is OWASP Zap is what we missed over here, which was fourth, maybe fourth or fifth. So those are the seven things that you need to really learn in order to get to learn or explore the DevSecOps arena. So I hope this particular list of things or tools will get you really fast track on learning the entire DevSecOps. There are a few more things to it as well. We have just dealt with the very surface level, security stuff. But if you want to learn more, you can always navigate to our DevSecOps playlist, and we have learned over here a lot of different things. We haven't yet talked about threat modeling. You can see it over here. What is CVE, CVSS? You need to know these particular things. Then what is SAST, SCA, Sonar Cube, DAST, IST, MAST, RASP, secret detection. A lot of different things are there. API security, CI/CD, and then Snyk, gripe. These particular methodologies, if once you learn, will let you I easily grasp the importance of security for your development efforts. So that's all for our today's videos, guys, and see you in one such another video. Until then, keep learning and bye.